Welcome back to another episode of Iniquitous News. I am your host, Lawrence Johnson. We are back like cook crack. Happy Friday, people. We about to have a terrific weekend. But before we do that, let's see what's happened in the last 48 hours. As usual, it's some bullshit. Now, Trump is saying, I'm about to end birthright citizenship. We need to hurry up and get this shit passed through. Because to him, this shit was for freed slaves. It's not for immigrants that had kids here and then they're tied to them is the kid that they have. He's still an illegal alien. And it's just, I feel like, why can't they just say out loud, we want as many white people here as possible. If you have any type of tone in your skin, if you're an immigrant from anywhere other than Europe, get the fuck out. We could just, beat a lot of time and we could just cut right to the chase and cut out all the bullshit and try to make all these different laws, rules. Just be honest, be like, we are moving toward an ethnocentric type of society here. We want more white people and less everything else. And the quicker we can achieve that, the better. I respect that. You know me, I respect racism. Once you stay in my business with it, I'm like, okay, I just don't like you. I don't have to mess with you, but at least now I know. Trump didn't stop there either. Now, Medicare, that shit is gone. But the bill did get stopped because I even think they went and looked at it and they were like, what the fuck? But listen to them. Well, Caroline basically just say all of a sudden, the whole time, no, we're not going to cut Medicaid, we're not going to do this. Now, all of a sudden, she calls it fraud, waste, and abuse.
He wants to get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse, and they are working to do that in the Senate right now.
Then Trump started his usual power trip because basically the Iranian supreme leader popped out the cutlass peroxide after 10 days in a bunker and was like, yeah, good job, but not that great, to be honest with you. We still have our shit. The damage under nuclear sites was not significant. And we won this. In Israel, they was pussy, so they signed the ceasefire, but we was ready for all this smoke. And Trump immediately was like, the fuck? Because then that confirms what CNN said, where it's like, oh yeah, they fucked up the sites, but they weren't obliterated. And this has been the whole back and forth. The Hegseth is pissed off. He took a whole entire rant of, you guys just pick on Trump's media. Who hasn't talked about the bombing of 32-hour, 38-hour flight and takes the refuel in the air? And we snuck in there and we destroyed the shit. But it's like, you did it though. You didn't destroy it. That's the whole point. Yeah, okay, maybe you blew up the site. But okay, let's say I have $1 million right here, right? Sitting right here. Y'all drop a missile, blow this area up. But before y'all drop that missile, I took the $1 million and got the fuck up out of here. Good job. You blew up my shit. I used to record that, but now I got $1 million. I'm still gonna build another shit and then still gonna record out of there. That's how Iran's feeling. We're like, yeah, we're just gonna make another nuclear weapon because the enriched uranium, y'all didn't touch that. And that's the only thing we need to make a nuclear weapon. And Trump didn't like that because immediately they asked, well, if they do start making another weapon, are you just going to bomb them? And he said, of course. Not for real.
If the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Without question, absolutely.
And have you had any conversations?
Turned out to be unbelievable.
Bro say, of course, yeah, we are bombing them if they do anything. He honestly, his layers. As always, I just wish he wasn't president because dude is, he's pretty funny, to be honest with you. But what's not funny is how he's just trying to basically get any type of reporter that goes against him fired. That shit is serious, where it's like now he's seeking to prosecute Democrats or the leakers that said, oh, the Iranian strike wasn't successful, or they released this information where it's like, all of a sudden you want to prosecute somebody, but your boy Hegseth was leaking our fucking war plans, but you don't want to prosecute them, you want to keep him in the same position because he's trustworthy, even though his dickhead had 2 different signal group chats talking about what they were going to do to bomb Yemen, like it was like a fancy football chat and they was moving lineups around. The incompetence that we deal with right now in the White House is fucking outrageous. These is real dickheads. And it doesn't stop there because then Trump dropped his tweet about Zohran, as you saw, but then there's other right-wing people that are going fucking crazy about Zohran as well. And I'm talking about, they called him Little Muhammad. It's just like, oh, wow, you just take the hood right off. You racist as fuck. And it's just so funny to me that all of a sudden, this man came out of nowhere, and now he's this huge problem because he's Muslim. And everybody's using 9/11. It's just like, there's like a good amount of people in the United States who weren't even alive for 9/11. And since 9/11, I've never seen a Muslim mass shooting. I haven't seen Muslim countries bomb other countries, go into war with other countries that weren't, already fighting. And it's just very eye-opening to me. And I mean, even Zoran, he like broke down a little bit because he was just like, this shit is overwhelming. It's tough to talk about and it's really difficult because now my life is being threatened by all these fucking nut jobs.
I get messages that say the only good Muslim is a dead Muslim. I get threats on my life. On the people that I love. And I try not to talk about it. Because the function of racism, as Toni Morrison said, is distraction. My focus has always been on making this a city that's affordable, on making this a city that every New Yorker sees themselves in. And it takes a toll. Because this is a city that every single person deserves to be in. It's a city that we all belong to. And the thing that's made me proudest in this campaign is that the strength of our movement is built on our ability to have built something across Jewish and Muslim New Yorkers, across New Yorkers of all faiths, all backgrounds, and all boroughs. And anti-Semitism is such a real issue in the city. And it has been hard to see it weaponized by candidates who do not seem to have any sincere interest in tackling it, but rather in using it as a pretext to make political points.
If I was in New York, Zoran, you got my vote for sure. Because this is a guy that talked to the people for the people. Unlike our guy Trump, he's for himself. But he's for our boy Putin as well. Putin even took the time out to thank Donald Trump. And it's so funny because I just try to think, like, if Putin would have thanked Joe Biden, every single person would be, oh, we're siding with the enemy. I can't believe he's cool with Putin. This guy's a warmonger. He's fucking trying to take over the world. But because it's Trump, it's just like, well, they're hoes. Don't worry about that. It's nothing to work with. It's like, huh? I mean, listen to Putin.
But overall, thanks to President Donald Trump, relations between Russia and the United States are starting finally to get better in some respects. Of course, we still have issues diplomatically, but the first steps are there. We're moving forward. We have contacts between our major agencies, between the State Department and our Foreign Ministry, between our special services, which is really important, you know, because it's really critical to be able to fight terrorism, whatever the situation is, whatever the environment is.
It's like, me personally, one minute I like Putin, one minute I dislike him, because he does have a lot of good points when he talks about why he invaded Ukraine, where it's like, there's a whole bunch of different things that broke, where he was like, nah, this is what I had to do. We're like, I guess I get it, you're trying to stand up for your country and whatnot, but it's just like, he's definitely a smart dude, but I feel like he's a powerful warmonger type of guy, whereas like, that needs to be phased out in this, as like the government hands itself over to the younger generation. We need less war-hungry people and people that understand that we're all human and we all live on this planet. 2025, bring this up all the time. It's just like, war makes zero sense at this point in time, unless you're fucking Pete Hegseth, and war makes sense all the time. And he wasn't done bugging out after he thrashed out at CNN, thrashed out at fucking MSNBC, anybody that talks bad about them. Then he went on and said, we're about to change the name of a new boat. Or not new boat, old boat. I apologize. And why are they changing the name of this boat? Well, he said it's because it's not political, has nothing to do with politics. Actually, you know what? Let him explain it himself.
Well, I'm pleased to officially announce that the Department of the Navy is renaming the Fleet Replenishment Oiler, formerly known as the USNS Harvey Milk, to the USNS Oscar V. Peterson. We are taking the politics out of ship naming. We're not renaming the ship to anything political. This is not about political activists, unlike the previous administration. Instead, we're renaming the ship after a United States Navy Congressional Medal of Honor recipient.
It's so funny, how can you say you're taking politics out of ship naming, but literally insert politics into ship naming? How did, oh, this is a boat, we want people to be proud of the boat. Why wouldn't they be proud of the other guy? What was wrong with Harvey? Well, what was wrong with Harvey? He was gay. They didn't want to say the quiet part out loud. From San Francisco, gay guy, they named the boat after a gay guy. And now, all of a sudden, we can't do that, so we're gonna go with Peterson instead because, I mean, gay is out. But we're not being political. Not being political, we just got to change the name of the boat because we want people to be proud of the boat they're on. It's just a little bit homophobic if you ask me, but you know what? Who am I to judge? Moving around to the rest of the world, Pakistan, that's the new one in the Middle East that supposedly has a nuke, and they're going to be able to get a missile to the U.S. It's like this dude, BB the bomber, he just don't stop. That's what his whole entire plan is. Iraq was already taken care of by us and Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden for absolutely no reason, where we found 0 weapons of mass destruction. Now, still have Syria, Lebanon, who they just started bombing. We'll talk about that in a minute. But now it's Pakistan. Pakistan has always been one of his focuses because they're very powerful. They have a very good military. And so now, all of a sudden, they have a nuke that's going to reach the U.S. I'm so tired of that narrative. I swear to God, these countries, when they get their first nuke, the U.S. is not going to be their target. It's going to be Israel. Now, if they use it, okay, boom, we go in there, we swoop in, bomb all that shit. No, you can't nuke other people. It's fucking crazy. What are you, nuts? We've seen what happened. The fact that the U.S. did it, not once but twice, how the fuck do you nuke Hiroshima and they'll be like, let's go Nagasaki too. That's fucking crazy. And I feel like people are humane enough now to know that the nuke is the absolute last necessity. But you have to have a nuke to have respect. That's what people are bypassing. If you don't have a nuke, people like the U.S., people like Israel, people like Russia, I wouldn't even say people like China, because I haven't seen China just go try to take over another country and just be like, hey, if y'all do some shit, we gonna bomb y'all. But anyone else is like, oh, well, if you don't listen to what we have to say, a nuke is coming your way. How you gonna dodge that, nigga? Blow up whoever the fuck y'all blow up, you better listen. That's why countries get nukes, because then all of a sudden, now we can have a very real discussion between us. North Korea, it was supposed to be the end of the world when Kim Jong got nukes. Motherfucker got mad nukes. He not gonna use it. He gonna run his country how he wanna run his country, and if motherfucker try to get in his way, I got these in the arsenal just in case. And you see, he hasn't had no problem since. So I'm one of these people, I get what people are afraid of, but if Iran all of a sudden got a nuclear weapon, am I gonna care? Fuck no, I don't care at all. I swear to God, I don't care. Oh, Iranian regime, yes, there's some terrible people that are in leadership. Do I think they're going to use a nuke on another country and destroy their country of 92 million people? I don't. I really do not. So that's what I think about when I hear all this fear-mongering, war-mongering. It's all show, just so we can stay in power, can be one of the only countries that has a nuclear weapon. Bullshit. For real, for real. But then you had Israel that gets away with everything. And then we have to report if they have a nuke or not. And that's why Iran is what Iran is doing. All right, fuck y'all. I'm going to leave the IAEA. Since that's what Obama put into place, but Trump took it out. And now, y'all just bomb my sites. We signed a ceasefire. I have my enriched uranium. This is going to pop out with a nuke. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be, oh, we're building one. Now it's just going to be like, hey, look at our new nuclear weapon. What you going to do about it? And we heard what Trump said, oh, I'm trying to start another war. BB the bomber, as we see what the fuck he's doing, he just bombed them. Now he's bombing Lebanon, as you can see. He just doesn't stop. He needs to be in war or else he will be impeached and get the fuck up out of there. And the fact that this is happening all while the Iran supreme leader in Tehran Times came out with an article that said Netanyahu is going to pull a false flag operation on us. And it's crazy, it doesn't make international headlining news all across the U.S. that our supposed greatest ally was going to pull a false flag operation on the U.S. to drag us into war with Iran using sleeper agents. The whole entire story that they tried to pitch about Iranian people, they were going to do themselves. Now, take it with a grain of salt, do your own due diligence, but why would the Tehran Times post this and say we had this intel, we shared it with the U.S., and the U.S. shut it down so the false flag couldn't happen? It's not weird to y'all that that's not news everywhere? But immediately people are, well, you can't believe news coming out of Iran. Why not? What's the point they got to lie for? They think that people like us is going to read it? I promise to God they don't. That's the thing. Israel will do that. They will pull a false flag. And I've seen your comments, by the way, people. The deep dive on 9/11 is coming next week. I got you. I'm thinking about maybe doing like a 50th episode special of like, okay, this gonna be a deep dive. And we're gonna talk all about 9/11. And I cannot wait because that's what they was about to try pulling us again. Another motherfucking false flag operation. Not cool with that shit. And then you got China in the color peroxide. What they doing? Just releasing new spy military tech. Now a Mosquito drone. This is like some spy kid shit. I didn't know this shit was possible, son. But this is what they doing. This is what they cooking up over there. This is what happens when you're not in war 24/7. You build up your own military tech. You build up your public transportation. You build up your affordable housing and living. And next thing you know, you're an elite fucking powerhouse. And you do manufacturing in your own country. And now we mad at them. I'm a hater. I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna hate on China for achieving greatness in the last 25 years while we was over here twiddling our fucking thumbs just trying to bomb places in the Middle East for no fucking reason. Other than because BB the Bomber said to. Unbelievable. Drama in the NBA though is even more unbelievable. Obviously cool flag went number one, but this dude Ace Bailey, come on son. I get it. You think you nice, you think you him, you already made a couple hems. Not playing or saying, oh, I'm not gonna go to Utah, I'm not gonna play for the Jazz. You gonna get yourself kicked out the fucking league. You good, you ain't that good though, brother. I'm telling you, these owners talk. Who the fuck this kid think he is? You're not gonna come here. Bro, go there for 3 years, get your contract, you don't wanna do the rookie mac? Get the fuck up out of there and then go test the water somewhere else. You're like 18, 19 years old. I get it, you wanna get into a perfect prime situation like Cooper Flag has, but you're not gonna do that and you're hurting your personality and persona around the league already and you haven't even played a fucking game. Now, if you don't come out cooking, you're cooked. I'll tell you that shit for free. It is over for you, my brother. I'm dead ass. You're dead. Moving right along into one of my favorite segments, Flashback Friday. And I ain't gonna lie, I was cruising on the way here and I was listening to all this shit. This time, I was like, damn. We got hits on top of motherfucking hits. And we gonna start off with Rick Ross, Here I Am.
Every superwoman needs a Superman. Here I am.
That chorus one is so stupid, bro. I mean, his verses go crazy too. Moving right along, we have Kanye West. I know some people have him canceled, whatnot. He's never gonna be canceled for me. I can separate artist and the musician like that. Still be listening to R. Kelly, world's greatest. You think I'm not gonna listen to that shit? Remix to Ignition? That got me fucked up. And you not think I'm gonna listen to Kanye Spaceship? You're wrong.
I've been working this great shift and I ain't made shit. I wish
Kanye is so different, bro. Just stop wilding out. Even though sometimes I'll be like, kind of got a point. Moving on to, next we had Anderson Paak, Off the Ground. I swear, that's a real different sound for Anderson Paak, and I want him to make more music like that so badly. Like that type of hook, that type of beat where it's just like, I get it, you can rap, you got bars, but like, give me some flow shit where I could just drive, cruise, top down, fuck sunset going, boom, by the ocean type vibes. You feel me? I mean, this don't give you the same feeling. This give you more like drug dealer feeling. Nah, now you just feel cool as hell. Cause we got Lloyd Banks, Carnal. What Lloyd Banks doing like right this second? You know what I mean? Like, cause yo, 50 Cent doing, hating. Well, what's Lloyd doing? He still got some money, I wonder? He had hits, had G-Unit. But what if he fucked it all off? Good question. I'm gonna have to go look at his Instagram after this. But with our final song, we had Santi, Raw Dinner.
raw dinner, she don't taste like anything.
And we are back with Flourish Fridays, where I'll go over some clips from the week that honestly just blow my mind. I see people flourishing. Right off the bat, got Mountain Climb Mark, where it's just, I ain't gonna lie, son. Why would you ever do this? That's the thing. You have free will. You don't even gotta do that. You climbing, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, but not really, because you're going very, very slow, which makes sense, because this shit is egregious. One slip, one minuscule, oop, miss my little hat. You're dying. You're dead, son. Sliding to your death. Meeting in the upper room, I already know God gonna look at you like. Sometimes I make mountains for beauty, not fishing winds to conquer them. That's the thing, Special White Bree and D, they don't care about that. They look at a mountain and be like, God made that for me to be able to climb it. So he didn't. Sometimes that shit just for beauty. And moving right along, I love when I find those early musicians / songs of people you could tell they about to flourish, but then they're just performing in a small group and they're performing a hit song before it's a hit. And you can just tell where it's like, you can see in a room that people are noticing, but at the same time, it's like, hold on, this vibe is undeniable. And in this one, we have Bastille with Pompeii. Last but not least, we have Biking with No Regard for Human Life. As you can see, I mean, you're looking at death. Maybe the camera angle is kind of crazy, but it's just like, I'm keeping a death count. It's like every single time he turned, I die. And it's just, why? You had to hike all the way up there with your bike, son. For what? Why? Strictly for vibe. Red Bull, nowhere in sight. You already know. Marjorie Air, you guessed it. Death is over. I don't understand. This bike shit, I used to have mad fun on bikes. I broke my wrist one time. I still get on a bike, but I'm not trying to do no stunt shit ever again. For what? I'm just gonna ride peacefully, slowly, and nicely. Not this dude. Special white breed indeed. I mean, if you die in this place like this, you're never being found again. As usual, you will meet in the upper room, and the guy's gonna be like, I mean, you could just walked it. I don't know what to tell you, son. Even now it's probably dangerous, but you gonna go down on a bike? Moving out? No. Hell no. You couldn't pay me enough, son. There's no way. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Iniquitous News. Don't forget to hate and subscribe. We're going to be back on Monday. Y'all have a phenomenal weekend. Let's keep turning this shit up, staying with festive feeling and nefarious at all times. People, I'm out.
You've just tuned in to another edition of Iniquitous News Network with Lawrence Johnson. Don't forget to hate and subscribe.